यस्यात्म भूतस्य गुरुप्रसादात् अहं विमुक्तोऽस्मि शरीरबन्धात् सर्वोपदेष्टु पुरुषोत्तमस्य तस्यान्ग्रे पद्मप्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यं प्रह्लाद नारद पुण्डरीक व्यासाम्बश सुखसौनक भीष्मदल्भ्यान् रुक्माङ्ग उदवान् विभीषण फल्गुनादीन् पुण्यानिमान् परमभागवतं नमामि जन्मादि अस्य यतो अन्वया इदरसच्चा अभिज्ञास्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म आदिहवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो अमृता धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकोऽहं सत्यं परं धीमहि निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखं मुखादमृतं तव संयुक्तं बिबत भागवतं रसमालयमुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Parikshit Maharaj, sitting in front of Shukadeva Goswami, was asking a set of questions about the to the front. It's cold. About the Jivatma, how they got into the from the spiritual world into the material world, and set of questions about the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and the difference between the living entity and the Supreme Lord. What are the differences, and so forth. And then in response to Parikshit Maharaj's question, Shukadeva Goswami was explaining many things, and then he also spoke about the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, the details about what Vaikuntha is, how Vaikuntha looks, and so forth. This is a very important thing because in many religions, generally they speak about God's place or kingdom of God, but the address is not given. Therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatham, when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you can find even the details of where exactly the spiritual world is and where we are located, and all the details. How does the spiritual world looks like? Vaikuntha looks like. All the details are given. And then Shukadeva Goswami explains specifically several number of slokas about the spiritual world. Excuse me. The spiritual world which is not time bound. There's no time factor at all. And there's no, since there's no time factor, that means there's no age. No one has age. There's no need of light because it's illuminated by itself, self-illuminated. And then never anyone gets sick. Okay, none of those things happens. And also it's a place where it has several desire fulfilling things are there, right? In heaven also, heaven is a place of heaven is a place of Indra, where there also some desire fulfilling objects are there. Like there's Chintamani, there's Katpaha Vriksha tree, a tree which can fulfill your desires, all those things. But over there in heavenly planet, there's not many. It's limited, one or two like that. But then in heaven, in Vaikuntha, everything is Katpaha Vriksha tree. All cows are Kamadhenu. right? And all the all the germs and the pearls and everything, all chintamani's. It's not one or two, everything. But then none of those things are used for one's own purpose. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's all will be lying here and there. Everything will be there, but no one goes and asks for, their own enjoyment. They ask for Krishna's enjoyment. Right? That's how in Vaikuntha everything is in service of Krishna. That's why they're all happy. The reason that they're all happy is because they are serving Krishna. I might have told this one, but I'll repeat if you have heard this one. It's a Chinese proverb. It says that if you want to be happy for a day, then if you want to be happy for a few hours, go for a movie. Right? If you want to be happy for a day, go for some walking park or any of those things. If you want to be happy for a week, right, then you go out of station, do something. And if you want to be happy for for 1 year, get married. Okay. But then if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, serve others. Is a Chinese proverb says this. The best way that one can be happy is by serving others. Is it not when you help someone, when you serve someone, naturally some sort of satisfaction comes, right? Satisfaction comes in our. Therefore, we can find where the secret is. The secret of happiness is serving others, and especially in Vaikuntha, everyone is working towards serving Krishna. Therefore, there's no any confusion there, and there's a competition over there, right? In serving also, but their competition is different than the competition that we will have here. Is totally spiritualized, those side of competition. Then Sukadeva Goswami goes into the last chapter in this second canto, where he says about the Puranas. The Puranas have 10 features, 10 things in it. That's called complete Purana. Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshanam utayah manvantareshu nusa katha Nirodha, Mukti, Ashrayah. These are the 10 topics. We covered this one in the last class also. And then he goes on. The right situation for the living entity is to obey the laws of the Lord, and thus be in perfect peace of mind under the protection of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here he says, if you want to be in peace and be completely protected, then the best way is to follow the laws given by God. Let's take a moment and think about it. Is laws and rules and regulation puts us in a restricted condition or gives us a freedom? Can you drive however you want on road? Right? You cannot, right? Can you do whatever you want, wherever you want, however you can't do everything. There's a limitation, there is a rules and how you behave, how you do at the end of the year, what you have to do. All those things are very systematically put into rules and laws. So one might think, why do we have these laws? It's too restricting one. There's no freedom. Are we not in a freedom, independent country? Is this a country where you have independence?
Yes.
Then why do we have rules? Huh?
Order, keep the law.
Why? Yes?
For the proper life.
Just imagine there is no signal, green signal, red signal, yellow signal.
Yeah.
Imagine how you're going to drive.
Chaos.
You might be a good driver, but others? Right? Therefore, you have to stop when certain signal comes. Therefore, we might feel these rules and laws feels we are restricted, but it's actually for whose good? Our good. If you don't have cops, police, if you don't have any of those things, anyone can enter anywhere, do whatever you want, and you cannot go report to anyone. There is no anything, right? So it's just very difficult. Therefore, rules and regulations are good, and it actually gives us a freedom. The freedom in a way, so we can happily be in peace. In peace. Therefore, we should understand when it comes to God, God also has laws. So when we follow the laws of God, it's not putting us into restriction. Actually, it is giving us a freedom so that we can be happy in peace. That's why we have so many rules and regulation that one has to follow. Then Saunaka questions here. Yedahano bhavan suta shatra bhagavatottama chachara tirtani bhuvas tyaktva bandun sudushtyan. Saunaka Rishi, after hearing all about the creation, inquired from Suta Goswami about Vidura, for Suta Goswami had previously informed him how Vidura left home, leaving aside all his relatives, who were very difficult to live. So after explaining all this thing, now Saunaka Rishi, Suta Goswami in the conversation they're discussing about this very important topic that could the Vidura's topic is coming up now. Vidura. So he's asking about, could you please tell me more about Vidura? Why did Vidura have to leave home? What's the purpose behind it? Why he has to be leaving his relatives and go out? And then Saunaka said, the topic of Vidura is very important to understand because the rest of the Bhagavatam is based on the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. Vidura and Maitreya. Their conversation was building up into Srimad Bhagavatam. So, with that said, second canto completes. Now we are getting into the third canto. Okay. Now, maybe we should also join. Okay. The king asked Sukadeva Goswami, where and when did meeting and discussion takes place between Saint Vidura and his grace Maitreya Muni? Kindly oblige, my lord, and describe this to us. Who is the king asking Sukadeva Goswami? Which king is asking Sukadeva Goswami? Okay, there's only one king we are discussing here. So answer should be fast. We should not be thinking too much on this. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking a question. Could you please tell me more about it? Sa evam rishi varyoayam prishto rajnya parikshitha pratyahatam subahu vit pritatma suyatma iti. Sri Suta Goswami said, the great sage Sukadeva Goswami was highly experienced and was pleased with the king. Thus being questioned by the king, he said to him, please hear the topic attentively. And then now he is going to talk about this topic. Can someone read this one? The translation?
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, King Dhritarashtra became blind under the influence of impious desires to nourish his dishonest sons, and thus he set fire to the lacquer house to burn his fatherless nephews, the Pandavas.
So when Parikshit Maharaj was asking a question to Sukadeva Goswami, could you please explain about how the conversation started between Vidura and Maitreya? They had a conversation. Could you please explain how this all started? Why Vidura, how he met with Maitreya Rishi? Therefore, now Sukadeva Goswami explains, starting from the history, saying that Dhritarashtra was blind enough that he was so attached to his son. Because of his attachment to his son, he made a lot of mistakes, committed several mistakes. And he was very dishonest in many ways. Thus he set fire to many things. You know the story of the things in Mahabharata. And then Yudhishthira was born without enemy. was unfairly defeated in gambling. They played together, and he was invited to play, the dice. In the dice, he was cheated. Yudhishthira Maharaj was cheated, and after cheating, he was sent off for a many number of years. He was sent off, huh? And then Krishna came, sent by Arjuna to the assembly. Then Krishna was sent to the assembly as a messenger, as a duta, as a messenger to compromise between two things, between the two parties. But then, even though Krishna was coming as a messenger, even Krishna was not accepted. Krishna was not accepted. His words were not accepted. But Bhishma Dev, everyone liked, they wanted to, but then they were bound to certain rules of the kingdom. It was not so for the others who were completely bereft of the last farthing of past pious work, meaning no one was ready to hear Krishna's word at that point of time. Even though Krishna was telling good things, for them to compromise. Yudhishthira was born. Okay, can someone read?
Vidur said, "You must now return the lamplight share to the Yudhishthira, who has no enemies and who has been forbidding through untold sufferings due to your offense. He is waiting with his younger brothers, among whom is the revengeable Bhima, breathing heavily like a snake. Surely you are afraid of him."
Please read.
Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, has accepted the sons of Pritha as his kinsmen, and all the kings of the world are with Lord Sri Krishna. He is present in his home with all his family members, the kings and princes of the Yadu dynasty, who have conquered an unlimited number of rulers, and he is their Lord.
One more.
You are maintaining offense personified, Duryodhana, as your infallible son, but he is envious of Lord Krishna. And because you are thus maintaining a non-devotee of Krishna, you are devoid of all auspicious qualities. Relieve yourself of this ill fortune as soon as possible, and do good to the whole family.
So what happened was, when Yudhishthira was being asked to, he was being cheated in the gambling, and he was being sent out. That time Vidura came. Vidura was invited to give his part of advice or whatever he has to say. Then Vidura was saying that directly that whatever Dhritarashtra was doing was not right. He was so attached to his son, therefore he doesn't know what he is doing. And especially person like a son like Duryodhana has to be condemned, has to be punished rather than encouraging. And it's like, he was like a snake, poisonous snake. You shouldn't be cultivating and developing his further attachment to his son like this. So, but when Duryodhana heard these dialogues from his uncle Vidura was talking not inside, right? So in most cases, in the traditional way, in the history, in the Puranas, when you read the conversation, if you want to criticize someone, in those days they criticize when the person is standing right in front of you, right? That's how they were in the past. They do not wait for that person to go out of this door, then you can talk about this person. In the front you will talk very nicely, and then the person goes, you talk about that person, all bad things, right? In those days it's not like that. When Vidura was telling your son was like a snake, who was standing there? Duryodhana was right there. What a courage that Vidura should have to speak like this, right? Duryodhana in front of Duryodhana. And Dhritarashtra was telling to Dhritarashtra, you are blind. You are materially also blind, you are spiritually also blind, nothing you have. This is not good. When he was saying like, Vidura was saying like this, and Duryodhana became very angry, very upset, right? Very angry. And then he also started blaspheming his uncle Vidura. So bad that he criticized and taking all sort of words, names against Vidura, then Vidura, for a moment, he thought about it, and then he kept all his bow and arrow and everything right there, and he ready to leave. He left the place. So he felt that this is a wonderful opportunity for me to quit and go from this place. The thing is that we have to try to help a situation, and when we try to help the situation, if your audience, where the audience are ready to hear your advice, your opinion, that's well and good. If there is no one to take your advice, what do? Simply quit. You don't keep on going on telling again and again and again. It's not going to work. You give an advice. First thing is they have to ask for advice. Vidura was called to ask advice, therefore he came. He gave his advice. It was not respected. They rejected it. So he said, very good. You're not going to listen. Then so many things to come. I don't want to be cause of that one. I'm leaving this place. This is all very good. Everything is happening by God's grace. Therefore, I'm leaving this place. So he left. Vidura left that place. Immediately left that place. Can you imagine a similar situation where someone was giving good advice and it's not been taken, and a person left the place? Vibhishana. Right? In Ramayana, you see the parallels here. There's the parallel things going on here. Vibhishana also was giving good advice to his brother. Right? Vidura also was giving good advice to his brother. Neither one was accepting it. They left the place. Right? So Vidura, he left the place, and then he took this opportunity to go for yatra. Right? He went for yatra. So he was traveling many places. Left. So as soon as he left, he went to Ayodhya, Dwaraka, Mathura, many places, many rivers. He took bath in many rivers. Right? He went to many temples. So he was traveling many places like this. So he also went to Surat and many places. Some of the names that said in Bhagavatam, you may not find those in maps. The names have changed. Right? So it's quite difficult to go and look into the map like that. So while he was traveling around, he came to Yamuna also, and near Yamuna, he met Uddhava. Uddhava is a cousin and good friend of Krishna, very good devotee of Krishna. So he happened to meet Uddhava over there, and as soon as he saw Uddhava, he was very happy. And then he was asking this question to Uddhava, because they are family members, actually speaking. Vidura, Uddhava, Krishna, they are one family. Therefore, Vidura was asking question to Uddhava, how are our relatives doing? How is everyone doing? So he goes on asking about how is Kunti, how is Vasudev, how is Devaki, how is Ugrasena, how is all those different names. He just tells everyone's name, and he just keeps asking how everyone is doing over there. Right? How is Krishna, how is Balaram, Pradyumna. Pradyumna is son of Krishna and born to Rukmini. Very good, Rukmini. And then he was asking about Yuyudha, Akrura, Aniruddha. Aniruddha is son of Pradyumna. Right? Aniruddha is Pradyumna's son. Therefore, he was asking about everyone, about Jambavati and Bhima, Arjuna, about two brothers, and he was just asking about how they are doing. But Uddhava was quiet. He was not answering, because by then everything was finished. The complete Yadu dynasty was finished. Okay? So he was quiet while he was asking these questions. He didn't say anything. And then for a moment he remained very quiet when he asked this question. His body did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into that ecstasy. Because these questions were asked, to him. Vidura was asking this question to Uddhava. As soon as he heard these names, as soon as he started remembering everything about Krishna, every single thing he was remembering about Krishna, he was going little unconscious, deep into meditative mood. Huh? It was Uddhava therefore said, Krishna Dhyumani Nimloche Grineshu Aja Agrenaha Kimnu Naha Kushalam Bruyam Gatasrishu Griheshu Aham. Sri Uddhava said, my dear Vidura, the sun of the world, Lord Krishna, has set, and our house has now been swallowed by the great snake of time. What can I say to you about our welfare? He's saying, now the whole thing has been covered by darkness. The light is gone. Who's the light? Krishna. Krishna is gone. Everything is changed now. The time, like a snake, it just took over everything. So, it's very unfortunate that we are still living in spite of Krishna left this world. How nice it was when Krishna was present. Yadu, the Yadukula was so fortunate that was so close to Krishna and so devoted to Krishna. And how the Rajasuya Yagya happened by Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then all the damsels of Vraja, the gopis, now they are not laughing. They don't talk to each other. They are quite sober and serious. And they are not the people who will be like that. They are always happy people. The gopis of Vrindavan, they don't care about anything. They are always happy, smiling, laughing, joking, pulling each other. Now all this mood has changed. All those things have changed. All those things have changed. Krishna has left. Since Krishna has left, nothing seemed to be having any life since Krishna has left. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, was born in the prison for the pleasure of Vasudeva and Devaki. He was born in Mathura and then he left Mathura over the night and went to Gokul. Went to Gokul. And as he was there, and then he was growing up with Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. He was just going through all the memories of Krishna. Uddhava was going through all the things. How Shishupal was against Krishna. How Krishna killed Shishupal. It's very painful. Uddhava was thinking, it's very painful that how the Supreme Lord is no more with us. Is now no more with us. Who can be more merciful than him? Who can be more merciful than him? Because, can you imagine, Varun, if someone is coming and giving you a glass of nice hot milk with 2 drops of poison in it, you will be saying thank you very much. If you identify that there is a snake, there is a poison in the milk, will you drink it?
No.
And will you be happy with that person after that? No. Okay. And Krishna knows he's been given a milk with poison. And he was very thankful to this person who gave. At least you're giving something to me. At least you're giving something to me. And then he gave a same importance of what he has given to Devaki and Yashoda. Putana got a similar, Krishna took care of, respected Putana for what she has given as a mother. Right? That does not mean that we, from tomorrow onwards, it doesn't, Krishna, Bhavagrahi means he only sees the mood, he doesn't see the details of it. Who cares about? Therefore, we can do whatever we want. It's not like that. We are not in that level yet. We are not like how who's the story we hear about someone ate and gave. Yeah, we are not in that mood. No, we should not imitate those things. So he was playing. Whenever Krishna plays flute, all everyone just somehow or the other mesmerized, right? They all get attracted and they leave everything. Everything becomes like, still stop, stand still. It's that everything stops. They're just completely captivated by the flute of Krishna. So we'll see those things in the 10th canto when we go Gita Govind. And then Venu Gita. There are different Gitas are there. Songs of set of wonderful slokas. We'll see when we get there. And when Krishna was playing around, a part of Yamuna was poisoned. Who poisoned? Kalia. So Krishna was taking care of Kalia Dhamana. Then he was dancing on this Kalia, how beautiful it is, and then chased off Kalia from that particular place. And then to control the egoistic nature of Indra, this whole episode happened. Govardhan, lifting of Govardhan, that happened, right? So how wonderful that is. And then not only that, when he grew up, then he was going and Krishna's marriage, his first marriage, you must be, what first marriage? It's not like how it happens now, first marriage, second marriage. That's not what we are talking in Krishna's lifetime. That's not Krishna. When he got married, Rukmini was, it was an interesting story, and then we'll see that later. But then he was just going and just took Rukmini out of her palace, Vidarbha Desha, and then he just came up. At the time, everyone was trying to come and fight with Krishna, Shishupal, and all those people. He just finished means fought with everyone, and brought Rukmini back. Okay. And then when Satyabhama is an interesting personality. She always has a nature of, everyone has different rasas and mood in relationship, and Rukmini has a more of like a queen. She very serving mood and etc., where Satyabhama is more demanding mood to her husband. She demands. So therefore Satyabhama was telling, I want this Parijata, there's a flower that from heaven, I want that. So Krishna went and brought the Parijata. And there was a fight between Krishna and guess who? Indra. So Indra first of all got all this thing because of Krishna, right? And then he totally forgot. Krishna is just taking some flowers. Let him take and go, right? So Indra was telling him, how dare you can take flowers from my tree? And he started fighting with Indra. He forgot. Right? Sometimes this happens in our life also, right? So when God comes and asks, could you please give me something? You might have heard this joke. So one person was praying to God, whatever I get, I'll give it to you, my Lord. 50%. He made a deal with God. 50%. If my business goes, 50% I will give it to you. So this person, what he did was, likewise God reciprocated to his prayers. Then he got a profit, and he made a big circle. He took all the money, and then he threw up. Right? Whatever you want, you take it. God, whatever falls down is for me. What a brilliant idea. Right? So, we also try to be very smart like that. Therefore, we should understand everything that we got now is simply because of God's grace. So, giving back to God, we should do it very happily. Very happily. We shouldn't be reserving ourselves. And especially the best thing that we can give for everyone is our age, our lifetime that we have, right? Because as we get older and older and older and older, it's going to be very difficult to serve. So as we have that energy, as we are able to run, speak, see things, hear things properly, do some things, we have to dedicate this body in service of God. when everything is working fine, right? So that's a very important thing that we should do. And beyond that, we can give so many things to God. Therefore, also we know that how Narakasura was killed, right? Narakasura was killed. So many things he was keep on remembering. Uddhava was remembering, just simply because the questions was asked by Vidura. Vidura asked these questions, remembering of everything. From then, Krishna went to yes.
Question, Prabhu.
Okay.
So Vidura asked Uddhava, you were saying. So this is after after Kurukshetra
Yes.
war and everything. At that time, Vidura and those people, Dhritarashtra, went to the forest, right, Prabhu? Into Adhyatma.
End of Mahabharata. End of Mahabharata.
End of they left to Himalayas or some into the forest.
No, this is before that. This is before that. He makes an yatra, and then during the yatra, the whole things are finished already. Everything is finished.
Okay. So still the Dhritarashtra.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. It's not. After that, return. After that, return.
Yeah.
Okay. So then he was thinking about this is Vrindavan Leela and everything. Then he was thinking about Mathura when Krishna and Balaram was called by Akrura, his uncle. He came to Vrindavan. And then he invited Krishna and Balaram to go to meet his uncle. What's his uncle's name? Krishna's uncle's name? Kamsa. Yeah. Kamsa. So therefore he went to Mathura, and then over there he pulled the hair of Kamsa from his throne. He finished Kamsa. Before this he killed the Chanura Mushtika and then Kuvalaya Pita, and then Krishna killed Kamsa also. All those things he was just keep on remembering. Pretty much the entire 10th canto that what we are going to see is all remembered very quickly by Uddhava over here. And then as he was thinking about it, Vidura, I am mad to want to pleasure of seeing him. My dear Vidura, now I want to see Krishna. Just to mitigate this, I am now proceeding to Badrika Ashram in the Himalayas for association, as I have been instructed by him. When Krishna left, what happened was, this is also we are going to see later, but in short, what happened was the entire Krishna's pastime was coming to an end. At that point of time, the entire Yadu dynasty was finished. That's the story. It was finished. They fought with each other. They are fully intoxicated. Right? And then they fought with each other. They killed each other and they finished. And Krishna also left the planet. The entire thing was finished. No one was left in this whole dynasty. But Krishna, before leaving, he instructed to Uddhava that you have to go to Badrika Ashram. And that's the instruction given to him. Therefore, Uddhava was ready. He was saying that I'm going to leave now. I'm going to go. I have to follow the instruction of what Krishna has given. Therefore, I want to leave now. But Vidura asked, could you please tell me more? I have a lot of questions to ask. Could you please stay back and help me to understand? Jnanam param swatam raha prakasam yed aha yogeshwara ishwara te vaktum bhavan arhati yadhi vishnur brityasva brityartha kritacharanti. Vidura said, O Uddhava, because the servant of Vishnu, the Lord, wander in the interest of serving others, it is quite fit that you kindly describe the self-knowledge with which you have been enlightened by the Lord himself. Now Vidura is asking, could you please tell me more, whatever Lord has told you, because you directly heard from Krishna. I want to hear more about what he heard from Krishna. Could you please tell me more? But then when this was asked, Uddhava said, well, I won't be the right person to tell you. If you can just hold on, someone is coming, so you can ask these questions to him. And that is Maitreya Rishi. Maitreya Rishi. Maitreya Rishi will come, you can ask these questions to him, and he'll be happy to answer all these questions that you have. But I have to leave. Right? I have to leave. Second. So this is very important that we understand from here that when Vidura asked to Uddhava to explain more about all this transcendental knowledge, but he was saying, rather than me, it would be nice for Maitreya Rishi to explain. It is very important to understand that we have to respect the seniors by knowledge. If anyone is more knowledgeable, we certainly have to let them explain the situation. Say, let me ask you something. You're in a family or something, in a situation where you have someone who is superior to you, and that person has to be corrected. How do you correct that person? He is older by age, he is older by experience, but he makes a mistake. One answer is, don't correct him. Let him continue the way he is. What are the options that we have? Someone who you respect, someone who is elder, but whatever the reason they are doing something wrong. How do you address the situation? What are the things that you will do?
Bring someone who is senior to you.
Very good.
Very good. Yeah.
One thing is, rather than you go and advise that person, you have to identify who the person who's of his caliber or level or things like that, and convey the message to that person. Maybe that person will help you to solve the situation by conveying the message to this person properly. Problem is easy. What happens if you go and tell to this person?
Get mad.
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And this is a technique that in the traditional way that have. If mother-in-law want to correct daughter-in-law, what they do? Oh, someone is laughing here. If mother-in-law wants to correct her daughter-in-law, she tells her daughter, why are you keeping things there? Keep it there. That means that message is not for her daughter, it's for her daughter-in-law. Right? Initially, later it will be direct, that's a different thing. Why she has to tell to daughter and then come to daughter-in-law? It's new, right? So therefore it's all formalities are followed like that. Therefore it's the same way. We have to be very careful in dealing in communication, how to communicate to. We may be correct in the way that we are thinking, but we may not be correct in the way that we are conveying the message. Therefore we have to be very careful, even if it is a good thing, right thing, but that has to be presented and conveyed in the right way. Otherwise, whatever you tell is not going to be accepted, because the first thing is that there is no built-in trust between people. Whatever you say is not going to work. What was the reason that Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita approached Krishna? What was the fundamental concept or principle? Trust.
Yes, trust.
There was a trust. There was a trust that Krishna will help me. If he didn't go and ask Duryodhana, could you please tell me whether I should fight or not to fight? Right? He didn't tell them. So he asked Krishna because there's a trust between these two parties. Whatever Krishna, have you had an experience where in a relationship, whatever you tell, whatever you try to tell to someone, I haven't finished yet. Whatever you try to tell right thing in a perfect way, it is misunderstood. You had any experience at all like that? Perfectly correct. Point by point, you're conveying the message. Pakka, perfect. But the other person completely misunderstands what you're trying to tell. He feels that you're absolutely wrong. One case. Second scenario. Convey the message, everything ulta. Wrong. the other person understands perfectly. Anyone had this experience? And you don't even have to worry about how am I going to convey the message. You convey the message somehow or the other. Other person understood perfectly. What is the reason behind these two things? What is that thing which wrongly said, understood correctly, correctly said, wrongly understood? What was the point, fundamental connection between these two?
Understanding, experience, like after
Trust. If there is no trust between these two parties, how much you try to convey the message is not going to work. If there is a trust, strong trust, it doesn't really matter. Therefore, it's important for one to understand that we have to build that trust. And the biggest trust that we can all have is towards Krishna. We have to trust God, Krishna. If we are not having trust in God, what are we doing what we are doing now? There's no point in doing anything. We're not doing anything. Right? Therefore, we have to have complete trust. God is there to take care of me. That not necessarily mean that I'm not going to wear a jacket. Right? That doesn't mean like that. But we have to understand the whole concept of what this means. Therefore, we have to have complete trust in Krishna, like how Arjuna had a complete trust with Krishna. Now, how Parikshit Maharaj had a trust with Sukadev Goswami. How the Saunaka Rishi has trust with Sutta Goswami. How Vidura had trust with Maitreya Rishi. Therefore, everything revolves on this one factor called trust. If you don't have trust, why we are all sitting and reading Bhagavatam? We won't be reading Bhagavatam. We won't be reading Bhagavad Gita. We all have trust in Bhagavad Gita. We believe in Bhagavad Gita. We believe in Bhagavatam. We have faith in these things. We are children trust parents. Parents trust children. But for this trust factor, there are certain things that are very important. Two factors are very important. What are the two factors? There should be a character, and the second factor is competence. There should be what it means with the character should be proper. One's character should be proper. If there is no proper character, then the trust won't be built. Trust won't be built. And just having a proper character is not going to be sufficient enough. Or you have the competence, meaning the capacity, capability, skills, and are you having a proper track record in history, right? Then the trust develops. If anyone is failing, then the trust is not going to work. For example, at situation there could be different. For example, does the wife trust husband trust wife or not? In general, please. In general, okay, we're not talking about case by case basis. It differs. In general, we'll make an assumption. Okay, we make an assumption. Husband trust wife. Maybe that's why there's not much of trust. Husband starts cooking nowadays. Maybe that's a trust is all. Anyway, husband trust wife. Wife trusts husband. Yes?
Yes.
Because of their individual individual lifestyle, the characters, the behaviors, they trust each other. Now just imagine, because I trust my wife, I'm having a problem in my head. Okay, I trust my wife. Therefore, I'm going to go to my wife and tell, could you please operate? Wife is coming and telling, I can operate your head. Now I'm going to tell you, what do I tell? I do not. I'm not going to give my head to. Come on, we have to finish Bhagavatam. Right? It's not, but because why? What was missing? Expertise. Expertise was missing. Therefore, the complete trust is based on the character as well as the expertise, which can produce some result. Which can produce some result. It goes. It's very important to have this one. Therefore, Krishna had everything. Therefore, Arjuna trusted this. Krishna's character, remarkable. Is he capable? What question is? Yes, he is capable. As he produced proper result of whatever he is going to, his character can be reflected in his result. Yes. Therefore, we trust this person. We trust this person. Therefore, trust towards God, trust towards the family members, trust towards anyone requires these things. One has to develop the character. The character is developed by constantly hearing such message from Srimad Bhagavatam. Any questions so far? So, when Vidura was ready, Uddhava left on his journey and Vidura was continuing. And while Vidura was continuing, he came across this great sage, Rishi, Maitreya Rishi. So the conversation and introduction happened between Maitreya Rishi and Vidura. And that develops further into rest of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, I'm going to stop here because I have to have something else to take care, leave. But we'll stop here for now. Sorry for the short class. But we can have any questions for any if you have anything to discuss. In general, yes.
What I heard was like Vidura was exiled by Duryodhana, or Vidura left on his own. What was the because
Vidura left by himself.
Not
Vidura
exiled by
no.
Because when he was saying a good thing and then he didn't like it, I thought.
No, he just left. He felt this place is not for me to stay any further.
That's why
He left that place. Made that an opportunity to go for a yatra.
Because many other stories, what I read was the other way around.
Okay.
Duryodhana told him to leave the kingdom, and then that's.
No, I don't think Vidura is going to wait for Duryodhana to tell that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else anyone wants to say? Ashokji. If not, thank you all very much, and we'll continue next class. Thank you.